Hi, everyone. Today we're talking about buyers who are out at open houses without their realtors or without being pre-approved. Aaron, what are you seeing out there as a realtor holding these open houses?
Hi, Cathy. I see numerous visitors of my open houses showing up without their agents, which is fine. They can go take a look, but also showing up without being pre-approved. And I tell them that you want to get pre-approved. You have to be pre-approved so you know your budget. You might be looking at the wrong home. This home might be overpriced, might actually be underpriced. And then as far as if you can have your agent show up with you, your agent will have a different set of eyes in that home as they're walking through. They'll be looking for certain things that you're not looking for that will be advantageous for you to know. Certain things about the condition, as an example.
And as a realtor, that being Aaron, I know I go and I'm a looky-loo. So when I see open houses around my neighborhood, I'm just going in. First thing I tell the realtors, hey, one of those nosy neighbors. I want to know how you're affecting my equity. Okay? Because that's key. That's number one. But when I go in, I don't see the red flags that Aaron can see. So let's talk about real quick. How easy is it for you to spot a red flag like unpermitted work or deferred maintenance where I may look at it differently?
For me, it's pretty easy. It's like second nature. So I've been doing this for so long, it's like it just stands out. It actually
Right.
begins even at the curb as I'm walking up. I'm already seeing if the wood looks like it has certain termite damage, if the stucco's peeling off. I'm looking at even the landscaping. It looks like it's too close to the home. And then as
Mhm,
I enter, if I see anything that looks kind of irregular as far as like the layout, or a lot of times before I show up to the home, I have already checked to see
mhm,
what's the bedroom count in the MLS as an example versus
mhm,
what's showing up in the county records. So there's certain things that even beforehand I would have already looked at too. So unpermitted space is
mhm.
something that is a very big thing you want to know. And yes, it does stand out for someone like me who's been doing this for a long time.
And that's interesting because me as a consumer, I'm like, oh my gosh, it has extra space. I'm so happy. But with that comes some tax ramifications and or you need a realtor like Aaron to make sure that you're negotiating unpermitted work versus permanent work that potentially can get you income because that's one of the things most of us are trying to do. I can ask you this one question because I think a lot of buyers think that if they use the listing agent to represent them as a buyer, they think they're getting some sort of better deal. What's your perspective on that, Aaron?
I am so glad you asked me the question. I encounter this a lot. So yes, the buyer feels like, well, if I go to the listing agent, they're going to get a higher commission, so they'll be really wanting to work with me and present a good deal to me. Absolutely not. I mean, look, the listing agent first signed the deal, the agreement with
Mhm.
the seller. So no matter what, that's definitely their, I would say their priority. Now,
Yep.
dual agency is allowed. It's legal, but it's hard for an agent to do, to balance the two and to really make sure they're taking care of both parties fairly. So, having your own buyer's agent is the way to go. There's
Mhm.
no ambiguity as to, hey, is this person going to be fighting for me or are they working for the seller? They will be 100% only working for you. And that's what you want in a situation. Another thing I want you to consider is that is a seller really just going to reduce their price and give a deal to a buyer in a dual agency situation? Absolutely not. That listing agent is not going to be able to get the seller to reduce their price or do some miraculous stuff for this buyer in dual agency just because there's a dual agency. So keep that in mind. The seller has a price in mind. They have a level they know they will not go below. And so no matter what you think by working with the listing agent directly, that's not going to put you in a position to be able to get the best deal possible. You need someone working hard for you and only you. That's your
There
buyer's.
you go. Exactly. So this is what I hear as a consumer, right? The listing agent wants the best price. The buyers want the lowest price. So as an individual, I'm on a seesaw. So it's going to be very difficult because I'm going to push you out because I want the highest price possible. So that's what the seller agent, that's their role. Buyer's agent is my role is to get you the best price and hopefully teach you and educate you on the condition of the home, like Aaron was saying about the unpermitted spaces. So at the end of the day, when you're going into open house, we want you hopefully with your realtor, but if you're not with your realtor, make sure you take a lot of pictures because again, the realtor sees things differently than we do. Be pre-approved. It's very difficult for a person to come into a home and they don't know what that payment's going to be, and all of a sudden, this house is not the house or the neighborhood they can afford, and now they got to start looking at another home, and then that kind of discourages families in that perspective. We talked briefly about the unpermitted work. You need a realtor like Aaron to walk you through that. Um, it's before, especially before, you don't get me wrong, going to open house, have a lot of fun. But it's always best to have your realtor with you if it's possible. If not, take the pictures with your phone and then start documenting everything. And at the end, the listing agent works for the listing, which is the seller. Now, he'll try his best to try to work things out for you as a buyer, but as Aaron has mentioned, that is one of the myths that most buyers think that I'm just going to work with the listing agent and I'm going to get the best deal. Aaron, thank you so much for talking us through being prepared when you go to the open house.
Thank you, Kathy.